I fell asleep. That's what happens when you have a 6-month-old child and a small bout of what I think may be narcolepsy. So if my face makeup and my hair is not perfect in this video, sorry, not sorry, I have children. I can never tell if I'm centered. Hey beauties, it's Court. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be comparing the Naked3 to the new Covergirl Roses palette. I'm really excited about this. This is going to be kind of like a little mini series. I was going to go in numerical order comparing the Naked 1, 2, and 3, but I took a vote on Instagram and Snapchat. If you guys aren't following me, you should be, so you can get in on stuff like that, because there's a lot of hype surrounding the Roses palette specifically, so I thought maybe you guys would want to see that first. It was unanimous that you wanted to see this one first, so we're going to go 3, 2, 1 instead. The next two videos will be uploaded on Thursday and Saturday, so look forward to those. But for today, I actually used the Urban Decay Naked 3 on one eye and then the Covergirl Roses on the other. That way you guys can kind of form your own unbiased opinions on how the shadows perform. At the end of the video, there will be a moment that you can take to pause the video and put your guesses down in the description box as to which eye is which. I just thought that would be a lot of fun. So without further ado and not too much rambling, if you want to see these two palettes compared, keep your cute little ass right where it's at. Also, yes, I'm in my robe. It's fucking freezing up here. So basically how these videos are going to work is I am going to do the same look as similar as I can on each eye, and I'm not going to tell you which palette I am using on which eye. This is also my first time doing any type of makeup applying video with my new lighting, so make sure you let me know any type of constructive criticism that you may have about the lighting. If there's anything I can do to change it, dull it down, brighten it up, anything like that, let me know down in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. So I just went ahead and primed my eyes with the NYX eyeshadow bases because I always do this before I apply any eyeshadow. I use the shade 03, which is nice for a little bit of color correcting on the lid, and then 01, which is just a very bright white to help any type of colored shadows really pop. Let's go ahead and move you in a little bit closer. I think I'm probably going to use at least 4 shadows. That way we can see how they really did you see that fuzzy? Maybe 5. We're just gonna do something simple. I just brought up my everyday eye brushes. And I am using a palette that's black, so if you see this pop up, it's not because I'm using either one of these. This is a palette with a really good mirror in it, so this is the one that I use. Okay, so I'm gonna start out by taking this BH Cosmetics Big Huge Fluffy brush, and I'm going to smooth out any creases that I have on my eyelid and take the lightest shade in the palette. I'm not going to explain every step in this much depth, just what I think might be necessary, and if I can tell you any information about the shades that I'm using, and it'll depend on how much information I can tell you without revealing which palette I am using. If you use an eyeshadow base, this is an essential step just to give all of the eyeshadows a powder to blend into instead of just trying to blend on top of the eyeshadow base, which can be really hard sometimes. Now, I will say there isn't a great highlighting shade in either of these palettes for my skin tone anyway, so I am going to use the Mary Luminizer just to do my brow and my inner corner. It's not really something that's too important, but I just don't find there's a very good highlight shade in either of these, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to use this no-name Really? I'm going to use this no-named bamboo brush just to lay down my transition shade. This is the Morphe M507 brush. If you have hooded lids or deep set eyes like I do, this is perfect for laying down your crease color. Just gonna blend that out with the M443. I am going to take a little bit more product on my M443 just to add a little bit more depth. And then after doing that, I'm going to go in with the E27 and just buff it out. Now going in with one of the two deepest satin shades, I'm going to use this B18, bring it onto the outer V and up into the crease just a little bit for a tiny bit more definition. I'm going to blend that with the M441. Going back in with the transition shade on an E27, I'm just going to blend everything together a little bit better. I'm going to take another brush from that No Name Bamboo set, and I'm going to take the first brightest shimmery shade and put that all over the lid. Not very impressed with this shade at all. It's not very bright or very shimmery. I actually hate the way this looks right now. Okay, I really don't like the way this shade looks on my lid, so again, I'm going to go back in with my Mary Luminizer, and I will make sure if I need to, I will do this on the other side as well. I'm sorry, I want it to look good. Now I'm just going to deepen up that outer V a little bit, maybe blend out some more. I'll check it and see if I need to do that, and we will be moving on to the other eye. So there we go. First palette is completed. I hope you guys aren't mad at me for using a different shade on my lid. I didn't like the way that it looked. So I'm going to come in for a little bit of an extreme close-up so you guys can see how these shadows look. So now I'm going to go in with the next palette and do basically the same exact thing. Whatever shade is supposed to resemble the shades in the other palette are the shades that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to kind of breeze through where I can. I'm not going to stop to tell you what brushes or anything like that because it's just to see how the shadows perform. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I ended up using the wrong brush for the outer portion of my eye, and it was a lot less dense than the one I used on this side, so I'm going to go back in with that more dense brush, I'm sorry. I'm actually pretty happy with the way the lid looks on this side, but I'm still going to go ahead and add the Mary Luminizer since that is what I did on the other side. I won't need to add as much though because this lid shade is a lot brighter than the other one was. So I think that's going to do it for this eye. Let's bring you in for the close-up so you can see how the shadows performed. Okay, so I'm going to throw on a little bit of lipstick and mascara, and we will be right back, and I will tell you my thoughts on which palette I personally prefer. So I went ahead and put a little bit of Stila Patina on my lips and Urban Decay Perversion on my eyelashes. I touched up my makeup a bit too because it was looking a little bit janky. And I used this Maybelline Master Contour. If you guys want a full review and demo on this, I'm going to use it for about the next week or so. And I can give you my thoughts if you're interested in that. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about these two little beauties right here. If you have a second, take a moment to pause this video, go down in the comments and make your guess which one's on my right eye and which one's on my left eye. Quick little review on the CoverGirl Roses palette. I do find it to be a tad bit powdery. You guys can see there's some kick up in the pan, but I have not gotten any fallout, even from the more shimmery, lighter shades. They don't seem to fall out onto my eyes. This shade is beautiful. It's gorgeous all over the lid. I honestly find this to be almost an exact dupe of the Naked 3 Nooner right here. The one in the CoverGirl palette is a little bit more purple, and I actually enjoy that more. I find the Urban Decay shadows sometimes to be a little bit too hard pressed, and I do get fallout with the more shimmery shades, such as with Dust here when I put it all over my lid. But with the Roses palette, with the lightest one here that's I guess supposed to be the dupe of Dust, I don't get any fallout with these. The fact that they're a little bit more powdery actually I think helps them blend. They're powdery in a way like a Lorac shadow would be, not to where it's like a powdery, you start to blend it out and it disappears. It's powdery and light and soft and buttery. I really, really enjoyed this palette. If you guys have been gunning for the Urban Decay Naked 3, please do yourself a favor. Spend 10 bucks and go and grab this beauty. I love this palette. I've reached for it at least 10 times since I got it, and that's saying a lot. If you see my palette collection, I do have quite a few higher end palettes. Not bragging, just saying that it's pretty impressive that I've been reaching for a drugstore one so often over them. So now for the big reveal. Right eye is Urban Decay. Left eye is CoverGirl. I honestly like the way the CoverGirl one came out better. I just think they blend better. I think they look smoother. They're easier to work with in my opinion, and the lid shade is so much brighter. As you saw, I didn't need to put the Mary Lou over it. I just did that because that's what I did on the other side. So yeah, I mean, there isn't really much more that I can say. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. We'll be back on Thursday. Who else? I hope there ain't nobody else in here with me. I'll be back on Thursday with that one for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys so damn much. Please thumbs it up if you enjoyed this video so I know to do more videos like this in the future. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Don't waste your money.